Hello and welcome to the video for NS number 4. So let's go ahead and get started with question number 1. So the question is 2 over 11 plus 7 over 11. So when you're adding or subtracting fractions, first thing you want to do is look at the bottom number, that denominator right there, for both fractions, and ask yourself, are they the same? If they are the same, then the very first thing you're going to do is draw an equal sign and draw a fraction bar, and then you're going to put those bottom numbers, or the bottom number is going to be the same as the first two, just like that. I didn't add anything, didn't subtract anything. With adding and subtracting, you never add or subtract the bottom numbers. So we just move, if they're the same, we move it on to the bottom. And then we can go to the top, and we're going to add or subtract those numbers. In this case, it is addition, so 2 plus 7 is 9, and that is our answer, 9 over 11. Alright, so for number 2 it gets a little more trickier, because again you want to look at those bottom numbers, but they are not the same, they are different. So what is it that we do when they're the same? I'm about to show you. First, I would just rewrite the problem in the middle. Give yourself some space to work with, because you're going to need it. And then I'll show you what you do next. I'm going to use a different color. So see this number here, this 3 here? I'm going to put in parentheses a 3 right here, and I'm going to put in parentheses a 3 right here, because I'm taking this number and putting in parentheses here and here. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 here and put in parentheses over here. Just like that. So I took this 4 right here and I put it right over here. And then I'm going to multiply. So that is going to give us 2 new fractions. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. And see, now we've got a whole new fraction, or set of fractions, that we're going to add, and the bottoms are now the same. Which means we can solve it just like I did in the first problem. So the bottom numbers are the same, so we're going to keep the bottom number and the answer the same. Then the 9 and the 8, we get to add those. 9 plus 8 is 17. We get 17 over 12. However, you cannot leave it as 17 over 12. That is an improper fraction, and your answers need to be in mixed numbers. So this is how you're going to solve that. So you're going to do top divided by bottom. So top divided by bottom. And 12 can go into 17 one time, and then 17 minus 12, minus 12 is going to equal 5. So that's, and then we're going to stop there. We're not going to go into decimals. So that our final answer is going to be this number right here is going to be our whole number. Okay. This number right here is going to go to the bottom, and then this number right here is going to go on top, and then that right there is our final answer, 1 and 5 over 12. Alright, number 3, it's subtraction, but guess what? It's the same rules as with addition. So, in this case, the bottoms, are they the same? Yes, they are. So we're going to put a bottom the bottom to be 10, just like on the problems. Then on the top, we get to add or subtract it. In this case, it's subtraction. So 9 minus 1 equals 8. However, 8 over 10 is not a simplified answer. How I know that is because they have 8 and 10 both have a greatest common factor that needs to be factored out. So the greatest common factor of 8 and 10 is 2. It has to be the same number, the greatest number that both of them can be divided by. You've seen this a little bit in class before. And so 8 divided by 2 equals 4, 10 divided by 2 equals 5, and this is our accurate answer. This would be a wrong answer, but it might show up on the Casey. You have to simplify your answers as much as possible. Only this is the correct answer. All right, number 4, also subtraction, but the bottoms are not the same. So we are going to solve it just like we did when it was addition, because addition and subtraction have the same exact rules. So here we go. Okay, so the 7 over here, I'm going to put it in parentheses and put it up here in parentheses, and then I'm going to take the 9 right here. Let's use a different color. The 9 right here and put it in parentheses and put it in parentheses, and then I'm going to start doing my multiplying. So 7 times 8 is 56, and 7 times 9 is 63. Subtract, we keep the symbol the same, and then 9 times 1 is 9. And 9 times 7 is 63. And now the bottoms are the same. So we're going to, for our final answer, put a 63 right there. We just copy it over and then subtract the top. So 56 minus 9 is going to equal 46. Excuse me. Okay, for question number 4, still subtraction, but the bottoms are different. So we're going to solve it just like with the addition problem. So we got a 7 over here. So I'm going to put 7 parentheses on the left side and a 7 up here on the top on the left side. And then we've got the 9 over here. And then so I'm going to put that on the right side with a 9 here and a 9 here in parentheses because we're going to end up multiplying. And then so we got 8 times 7 is 56, and 7 times 9 is 63. Subtract, 1 times 9 is 9, 7 times 9, 63, equals, well, 63, the bottoms are the same, so the bottom stays the same for our answer. Then we're going to subtract 56 minus 9 to equal a grand total of 47. They do not have a greatest common factor, so that is the answer for number 4. Now, the next two problems are multiply and divide and have completely unrelated, completely different, not at all the same rules as 1 through 4. So you can continue watching the video and do those practice questions now, or you can stop, do all the questions for addition and subtraction on both sides of the paper first and come back. Whatever way you think is going to be easier for you so you don't get the two rules confused because they don't connect at all. So let's go ahead and go to number 5. All right, so when multiplying, you don't need the bottoms to be the same. They do not need to be the same in multiplying. That is only for adding and subtracting. So for multiplying, it's actually a little bit easier for most people. If it's not for you, that's fine. But for a lot of people, it is because it's not as complicated. Now, the math might be tougher because you're multiplying, but the rule is easier. So here's how you do it. You're going to look at the top and just multiply across. 2 times 3 is 6. Bam. 5 times 4, multiply that, you get a 20. Bam. Now, it's not simplified, right? You always have to check. Does it have a greatest common factor? In this case, we know 2 will work. So let's divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. 3 out of 10, 3 over 10 is our answer. All right, final question. All right, so now we've got division. Fortunately, you're not really going to have to do a whole lot of division, and you're definitely not going to divide these fractions into each other. This is what you're going to do. First, you're going to take the first half of the problem over here, the one on the left one you always leave the same, and go ahead and rewrite it. Okay? Then you're going to take this division right here, and you're going to make it multiply. So you're going to multiply, not divide. Yay, we just learned how to do that in the last problem. And then the next question, let's go ahead and use pink. The next one, 15 over 14, is going to flip. The left one stays the same. The right one flips. 14 over 15. Okay? And now we can multiply. Now here's another trick. I didn't go over this in number 5, but I'm going to go over this now. Before you multiply, you want to do something that's known as cross canceling. So here's how cross canceling is going to work. We're going to look at these across from each other diagonally. Don't go left to right on the bottom or left to right on the top. Go from top to bottom, left, in a diagonal. And ask yourself, is there a greatest common factor? In this case, 5 and 15 have the greatest common factor of 5. So we're going to divide them both by 5. 5 divided by 5 is going to equal 1. And 15 divided by 5 is going to equal 3. So I'm going to cross this out and put a 3. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing with the 7 and the 14. Do they have a greatest common factor? Yes, they do. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And 14 divided by 7 equals 2. So I'm going to get rid of that now. And now we're going to multiply the results. So 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 3 is 3 for a final answer of 2 over 3. Now, can you solve this by just multiplying the top and multiplying the bottom first and then doing greatest common factor and dividing down? You can, but usually if you do it that way, the numbers that you're going to be dividing are going to be bigger. And you're going to have more work, and it's going to take longer, and you're more likely to make a mistake. So you want to try to avoid that. Do the cross canceling first. If you have any questions, you can ask me or anybody else in class. Thank you.